walking the path. Do you ever feel like I just got to fix myself? Like I just got to fix this. I just got to figure this out. That's a trap. There's this subtle idea that there's something wrong with you. And if you could just figure out what it was, then everything would be all right. That's a lie. That's what we're going to talk about today. Divine order already exists. And as you can tell, I'm here at Rythmia. I just got done facilitating one of my favorite classes, the New Heart Afterglow class. It's one of the classes that we teach here that really goes into the science behind what's happening. You know, we have a lot of spirituality here, a lot of mysticism here, but there's a lot of science here. So this class is about what's happening on a neuropsychological level, what's happening on a physical level, what's the science behind it. And it was so good to share this information with people. And as people are getting ready for their fourth ceremony here at Rythmia, and here's what I know. Every week, people are coming back to a place of wholeness. People are seeing that there was nothing wrong with them to begin with. That's what's happening. So if you're interested in getting out of the fix yourself trap, we can help. Come and see us. But we're going to talk about that today too. You know, because this idea that there's something wrong with us is deeply embedded in our culture. It starts with Adam and Eve. You know, Eve was screwed before she took the first bite. You know what I mean? Eve was screwed before she took the first bite. And I'm just checking to make sure we're all good here. Yes, we're live. Everything is good. Okay. Sorry. There's a new view here, so I'm checking it out. But here's the deal. Eve was told, eat this fruit and you'll have knowledge that you don't have now. So the first idea was that she was missing something. Before there was original sin, because there really is no original sin, there's just original guilt. This belief that you're not enough, that there's something missing, and that I need something outside of me that's going to make me whole. That's the lie. And that's deeply embedded in our culture. It's the Bible, right? Starts with the premise that you're broken. That's not the truth. That's not God's word. God's word is unconditional love, period. And I'm not talking about a man in the sky or Santa Claus. I'm talking about nous. In the Hermetic teachings, these are the ancient teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes 3 times magnificent, also known as Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom and knowledge and writing. So in the Hermetic teachings, the ancient teachings that go back 5,000 years or more, the idea is that the divine intelligence that permeates everything is our nature. There's a divine intelligence that permeates all things, and that is divine order. That actually exists already. We don't have to make ourselves ordered. We don't have to fix ourselves to become ordered. The order already exists. We just have to align with it. That's really a lot of what's going on in our culture is I have to impose order. Mind over matter. I think, therefore I am. The preface of the mind, analysis, figuring stuff out, all really important, all really good. But that alone, only that, shows us only that I have to create the order. That's an egoic structure. That's a mental structure. The mental body is super important, but there's also the emotional body and the spiritual body. And the spiritual body is the nous. The spiritual body is that divine order that already exists. Now, us coming into alignment, everything participates in that pattern. As above, so below. which means that the same intelligence that organizes the planets, that organizes the seasons, that organizes the human body, that organizes consciousness, it already exists. It isn't something that we have to impose on life. The pattern is already there. It's already there. We have to come into alignment with it. Divine order is really harmony. Now, each being, each event, each cycle is like a note in the symphony. And we don't have to conduct the symphony. We just have to tune our instrument, right? Because disorder happens when something is out of tune or something is out of time. When the tuning isn't right or the timing isn't right. We just have to tune the instrument and align with the timing. The pattern already exists. We're the instrument. Imagine that this is the Hermetic way of understanding alignment, is harmony. And that's the ancient Hermetic teachings. I want to bring in metaphysical teachings. I'm an agape licensed spiritual practitioner, and agape comes out of a tradition of what we call New Thought. And New Thought really emerges in the early 1800s in the United States. And there was this dude who was an amazing healer. His name was Phineas Quimby. He literally healed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I'd probably say thousands of people. Because at that time in the United States, there was no medicine. There was no Johns Hopkins. There was no, standardized medical care. It was snake oil salesmen, and charlatans. And there were a lot of those. There were some good healers, but it wasn't standardized. And so people were in this big country looking for physical healing. And so they came, it was really interesting. At that time, this sort of Eastern philosophy from India is coming into Europe, and it's mixing with this idea of this guy from Austria. His name was Dr. Mesmer. And Dr. Mesmer, that's where we get the word mesmerize, because he was like the first hypnotist. He was the first guy that worked with the power of suggestion. So we have this idea of the power of suggestion coming out of Austria, and we have ancient Vedic and Hindu and Indian, Eastern philosophies, the masters of the East, or the Far East, kind of confluence in Europe, and it's coming into the United States. And so there's this idea that we can, through the power of suggestion, heal our bodies. And that's where New Thought really started to take off, because people began to see that actually my mind, that the body, Phineas Quimby taught that it's not a sickness, it's a misinterpretation of reality that causes suffering. And that the body will naturally move towards harmony. This is what medicine teaches us today. The body is constantly seeking homeostasis. Everything in the cosmos is seeking homeostasis. It's seeking order, balance, and harmony. It's looking to align with that pattern that already exists. Everything is seeking that. We are too. So, it's because of our thinking. It's because of our thinking that has become entangled in a story that contradicts the truth of reality. I was just talking to a lady today who fundamentally believes that she is just darkness, and she has all this evidence from life to prove it. Right? That is a perfect example of how we can get caught in and entangled in a story that misrepresents reality. Now, her life was hard. And and we talked for a long time, and she's getting ready to go into ceremony tonight, to really see the truth, which is she had experiences in life, but she's not those experiences. That's the confusion. There's an entanglement between the story, getting caught in the story, and seeing the difference between the truth of who you are and the story. So divine order, this is how it gets into our nervous system. The human body already knows how to regulate itself. And, the heart beats without, direction, cells are reproducing without instruction. All this is happening, that's divine biological intelligence. And it's constantly restoring balance. And, the body naturally knows how to heal. And healing is an intelligent process that already exists. So I may have a broken arm, and the doctor may set it. The body needed some help, but the doctor isn't healing the arm. My body is mending that bone. That's the divine intelligence. That's so there's something misaligned. The body is seeking homeostasis. It's seeking alignment, and it's working towards that constantly. That's inherent. We participate in this process, and oftentimes we see disorder in our lives that's really just incomplete loops of energy. It's things that haven't been completed. A messy desk, an unpaid invoice, a difficult conversation. They're not moral failures. They're loops that haven't been closed. And so across many traditions, from the Hermetic philosophy to New Thought, there's a single shared insight that the universe already operates according to this divine order and balance. And, the tides follow it, the stars follow it, our bodies follow it, the weather systems follow it. And we experience chaos or fragmentation. It's usually because some part of our life has drifted out of alignment and out of rhythm. And so our work isn't to force order into our world, to just harder, faster, longer, stronger. Our job is to gently bring ourselves back into alignment, into cooperation with the intelligence that's already organizing everything. So there are two very different ways to approach life. The actions are the same, but the come from is different, right? So there's a voice that many of us already know. I should be further along by now. My life is a mess. I'm behind. I need to get my act together. I need to fix this, right? And from that voice, from that place, we organize the house. We, clean the box. We launch the project. We do it. We force through it. We make it happen. Okay. Underneath that tension is shame. Underneath that tension is a sense that something was wrong that needed correction. This is the fix yourself trap. The interesting thing is that the actions themselves might not be any different. But the problem, organizing your finances isn't the problem. Taking care of your body isn't the problem. The problem is that the nervous system state in which we're doing it. There's another way. And that way is self-leadership. So instead of my life is a mess as the inner posture, it becomes something like I'm increasing my capacity. I'm enlarging my ability. I'm cooperating with the divine intelligence that already exists. And the actions might be the same. You might still clean the inbox. You might still, organize that drawer, make that doctor's appointment, take care of your body, have that conversation. But the come from is different. It's not that there's something wrong and I need to fix it. The come from is there's an order and I'm aligning with it. There's perfection already here. I'm just enlarging my capacity to cooperate with it. Internally, it's very different. There's less pressure, there's less shame, there's less guilt, there's more sovereignty. And that difference changes everything. Where am I coming from? Am I coming from, I'm broken and I need to fix this? Or am I coming from, there's something inherently perfect. There's a perfection here. I can't see it right now, but I know it's there. I know the earth is spinning right now without human compulsion. I know that we just had a full moon and a full lunar eclipse at the same time. When that happens, the eclipse happens exactly at the moment when the moon is 100%. That's divine order. It already exists. When we act from self-judgment, the nervous system, tightens, it contracts. When we act from leadership, when we act from self-compassion and leadership, it's more expansive. The nervous system stabilizes. The energy isn't drained. The energy is building capacity. And that's really what divine order is all about. So yesterday, I had a lot to do. And I wasn't feeling, my energy was really low. And my old way is like, oh man, what's wrong with me? Oh, this is a familiar state. It's always, here it is, I felt so separate from everybody. Everybody else is moving forward. I should be working. I can't do it. I don't feel like it. La, 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 la. Low energy. And then that dark mood, and I stopped for a moment and I said, I'm just having a low. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just having a low. I'm like a wave. There's ups and downs. It's the way life goes. It's the way energy goes. Sometimes my energy is high. Sometimes my energy is low. That's not a moral failure on my part. That's not something broken in me. That's actually part of divine order. High and low, peak and valley. So when I just allowed myself, my come from wasn't that I'm broken. There's something wrong with this moment and I've got to shift it. My come from was I'm in a natural low. There's nothing wrong. This is part of divine order and I'm increasing my capacity to align with divine order. Now, my day, I did start to feel better midday. And later that afternoon, I went for a run and it was hard, man. I was like, I could barely do 3 miles. I was like huffing and puffing. And I thought, I'm just not a runner. I'm not in shape. And then I remembered, I'm having a low energy day. Of course, 3 miles is going to be hard. I'm low energy. But I went out and did it. I'm proud of myself. Come from, where we're thinking from makes all the difference in the world. So I feel like this idea, a fundamental idea that we're broken, that something's wrong with us and needs to be fixed, is the trap that keeps us locked into these old patterns. And it's as simple as remembering that there is a divine pattern that already exists everywhere in the world, everywhere in the cosmos, and in you. There is a divine pattern, a divine blueprint within you. Reverend Michael teaches that, like the acorn and the oak tree, the entire pattern of the oak tree is in the acorn already. Before the oak tree is ever physically manifested, its entire blueprint is there. And the oak tree doesn't struggle. It just expresses itself. That pattern in you is already there. That divine pattern is already there. Now, sometimes that divine pattern's like a stream. Think of a stream. Divine order is like the banks of the river. Sometimes shit falls in the river. You got logs and rocks and stuff that gets in the way. Beaver dams, right? Blocks the flow or restricts it or changes it in some way. It's not a moral failure of the river, right? The order already exists. Sometimes we just need to remove the debris, We begin to realize there's nothing inherently wrong with us. We're that perfect river flowing. And we have these thoughts that obstruct the truth of who we are. My life's a mess. I'm not enough. I'm behind. I should be better than this. I should be further along. I should have known better. What's wrong with me? That's the debris in the flow, the uncensored flow of life that's coming through us. So as we begin to it's as simple as saying, oh my God, I'm not the debris. I'm not the debris. I'm the river. And divine order is all around me. It's in me. I am divine order itself. The more that I can bring that into my awareness, the more I'm removing that debris. And the more alignment, the more capacity I have to handle an increased flow of the divine influx. In alignment, everything comes. Ease and grace in a magical way. Everything comes with ease and grace in a magical way when we're aligned. So divine order exists. The perfect pattern exists within you. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. There's some mental debris that has us think that there's something that needs to be fixed when actually nothing needs to be fixed. The only thing we need to fix is our self-aggression. The only thing we need to fix is the voice that says we're broken. It's the only thing. It's a sense of being broken. It's not the truth. It's an idea. It's not the truth. All right. I'm so grateful and so thankful that y'all showed up today. Thank you for joining me. Come see us at Rythmia. Oh my God, next week I have the great privilege of being the guest speaker at Rythmia. I'm so excited. So we're doing a workshop on unbecoming and the fix yourself trap, which is going to be awesome. And so there's still time. If you've been meaning to come, next week's a great week. You can still make the reservation. We have people that do that literally make the reservation 3 days before arriving. So that could be you. Come say hi to me when you do. All right. Peace and blessings. I'll see you next week.